Lina for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Khan, thank you for being here. I know it's been a long day. You know, the FTC's mission is to protect the public from deceptive and unfair trade practices and from unfair methods of competition. Even on your website, the FTC's work to protect consumers and promote competition touches the economic life of all of us. I'd say the FTC is charged with a very important mission and have for a long time. A Bloomberg report recently found that 71 attorneys left the agency in a 2-year period between 21 and 22. This is the highest number of departures in 20 years. That being said, it's pretty tough, I would imagine, to protect the American consumer and promote competition when your staff is leaving. As you know, Congress receives federal employee viewpoint surveys, or FEVSs, to inform us on how agencies are functioning. In 2020, 87% of FTC employees agreed that senior leaders maintain high standards of honesty and integrity. And in 2 years, that dropped from 53%, and also in 22 to 49%. Similarly, in 2020, 83% of FTC employees agreed that they have the highest level of respect for FTC's senior leaders. Again, in 21, that dropped to 49%, and in 22 to 44%. In 2020, again, 80% of FTC respondents agreed that senior leaders generate high levels of motivation and commitment in the workforce. Under your leadership, that has dropped to 42% in 21 and 36%, alarmingly, in 2022. So I think my question, quite frankly, is why is it so unpopular to work at the FTC?
So we have fantastic career staff who day in, day out are fighting for the American people and looking to protect them from unlawful business practices. I take those survey results seriously, and we've been engaged in taking a series of steps to make sure that the FTC is a great place to work. I've been really thrilled that over the last couple of years, we've been able to onboard hundreds of new employees at the FTC. Just the other month, we launched a new Office of Technology. Within a matter of a week, we got 600 applications. Technologists, these are data scientists, data engineers, highly qualified people who want to come work at the FTC to make sure that we're able to use their technological expertise as we continue to do our work to protect the American public. Well,
Chair, I would imagine with the high number of vacancies that have been as a result of the last 2 years that you would be hiring more people in addition to the, I think, 33% increase in your budget. So I would imagine that there is a drive to hire people just in general to fill those spots. But I think my concern is the unhappiness of people within the agency and why that is. Do you care to comment on that?
Yeah, I take that very seriously, and we've engaged in a lot of conversations and meetings to understand what some of the source of those issues were. We've been able to implement a set of steps, including streamlining decision-making, expanding communications around priorities. We clarified what our workplace flexibility policies would be, and I'm hopeful that each of those steps has contributed.
Yeah, and Chair, please don't take my comments as me attacking you or your agency, but it is a concern to me that when I read that, of course, my colleagues up here have echoed a lot of policy frustrations with your organization, and maybe you, but when I'm reading about employee satisfaction, I mean, the FTC serves such a vital purpose in our country. It's just really alarming to see it go from one of the top performing agencies of employee satisfaction to really the bottom in a 2-year period. It's just really alarming. So what do you think that you've learned? I mean, you've been here for 2 years. And you've seen, some tumultuous times. Do you think you've learned anything as a result of maybe your leadership or leadership around you on how to handle this and correct it?
So as I said, we undertook a set of steps to make sure we were appropriately streamlining decision-making, expanding communications with staff across the agency. In terms of learnings, I've had the privilege of seeing firsthand just how hard FTC staff are working day in, day out. Oftentimes they're having to go up against companies whose resources really dwarf ours, and there's a clear mismatch in resources, but we're still able to go toe-to-toe on talent, and that just reflects the sheer talent and dedication of our staff.
Well, good, and I hope that these issues correct. There's a lot. I think Mr. Gates talked about an important issue about creepy data collection that's going on. You've hit on that all day. The mission is important, but you have to correct the ship. You have to correct the type of management that you perform, and I think that starts with you. That starts with your team, because I don't want to read about toxic environments or people feeling like they're not heard or mismanagement at the highest levels. There has been a lot of ups and downs with the FTC over the last 2 years, and I'm hopeful that you can correct that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. I yield 5 minutes to myself. I just want